things they say that I might agree with on the issues. It's that is the crucible for me.
Hmm.
That is why I think it's particular dangerous. A lot of that it's anti-satanic rhetoric all the time.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. No,
it's
100%.
a rush. Putin just put an anti. He just put a referendum on the international satanic movement. He banned it in Russia. First of all, that doesn't even fucking exist, and that is the type of environment that's being created right now, where you feel like you have to ban the international Satanist movement. Like,
Right? Even though there isn't one?
I'm not okay with another satanic panic. I'm not okay um with QAnon. That's another wave of the satanic panic.
Yep.
So when people in the occult community start aligning with QAnon, that especially started to happen with the anti-COVID vaccine stuff. They
Hmm.
started to say, yes, QAnon is preaching the truth about it, but QAnon fucking also thinks witches and Satanists are eating kids. So you have to be careful with the movements you align with, because you're
Yep.
not included. You're
Yep.
not a part of it. Unless your politics are more important than your belief system.
Hmm.
Unless that this one or two political issue is greater than the left-hand path and Satanism for you. So
Yep.
if those one or two issues are more important than the left-hand path, then go ahead. But
Yeah, 100%.
it's very clear that it is. It's very clear that the anti-vaccine movement, or it's very clear that the anti-trans belief is more important to some people than their left-hand path belief system, or their satanic religion, or their Luciferian
Yep.
religion. Because there's no way in hell you're agreeing with the everything else that comes with joining this movement or this figurehead, because
Hmm.
they hate you and they resent you.
Yep.
And that's the way I see this political, as it pertains to the left hand path. That is what I see our political environment being.
Yep.
Is that that's what makes the decision clear for me, that I can't align with that necessarily.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So now there's a list of things that I came up with here. So why I believe that political violence is anti left hand path, right? It's just fundamentally against it. And I kind of want to throw this out here. So the left hand path is about sovereignty and not being upon someone else's ideology. So that's one thing right there. That's one major point. Violence in the herd's name makes you the herd. And with the left hand path, again, personal responsibility, personal accountability, and personal sovereignty, right? So to do something in the name of a group or other individuals isn't LHP, fundamentally speaking. And then the last point that I want to make is both left and right inspire each other's extremes. The occultist becomes the scapegoat, proof we are entering new witch hunts. And that's just being. I've seen Dyra has. There is a article written by Jezebel not too long ago regarding the fact that they had hired some Etsy witches to curse or hex Charlie Kirk, like
I remember seeing that.
yeah, like 2 days before what happened. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
the problem with that is because that happened, if you went to the comment section, which is now disabled, the amount of people that are calling for violence against occultists in that comment
Oh yeah.
section
Be
is
very careful.
terrifying.
Be very careful. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah, again, this is reaching a fever pitch, and a lot of that side sees Christianity, Protestantism specifically, sometimes Catholicism, sometimes there's a unity there. Like the Groiper movement, Nick Fuentes, he's Catholic, but he also speaks to like Protestants as well. And Mormonism kind of get, but it's very much an us and them. If you say, "Hey, witchcraft and the left hand path and Satanism," you guys can kind of be okay with. They're not. There's no place for any of Anton LaVey or Michael Aquino or magic or witchcraft in any of it. And yeah, like I said, logically, logically, if you have a couple, if um you have to decide on whether some of those political ideas, because the movement itself in America, the right wing movement itself, is not is not is not accepting, and it's mostly uh aggressive towards, and would in its in its logical end would find ways to I don't know, either ban it or put
Hmm.
limitations on it
It
or
would.
get it out of the media or ban accounts
Yeah,
or what
that's
have you.
terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying. So, a
And it's
question.
happened before.
Yeah, it
Like,
has. It
the
has happened
satanic
before.
panic happened. People were arrested. People
Uh huh.
spent time in jail. They lost their kids. This has happened before.
And just because
Like,
we've experienced it before doesn't mean we can't experience it again, especially with the way that everyone has lost sight of our past. Like we are doomed to repeat the past if we do not remember it. And I feel like as a cultist, at least on that front, it is our job to make sure that people remember the frothing at the mouth that happened during that time period so that it doesn't happen again. Um, I think it's very important. Now, question here. So Nietzsche was misappropriated by Nazis. We spoke about that earlier. Do you see similar risks with today's political extremes co-opting occult and philosophical ideas?
is this one of the questions in the chat?
Is my question to you?
Oh, got it. Misappropriated in a sense. So, uh, appropriated certain aspects of Friedrich Nietzsche and adopted that towards Nazi ideology. Um, did not holistically absorb Nietzsche because he hated statism
Mm-hmm.
and he hated nationalism.
Yep.
And he saw no part in it. He spoke of the individual and believed that one could not align with a nation. That's another thing, guys. That's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. The idea of nationalism is actually anathemic to left-hand path ideology. It's about individuation. It's about individuation. Nationalist fervor, further civic nationalism, ethnic nationalism. Um, the left-hand path, Satanism, so forth. It speaks of the individual. So there is not a lot of place to align with this kind of. To be fair, it also goes the other way too. A lot of socialistic communal thinking is also off the table. But um, so the the Nazis did appropriate some of Friedrich Nietzsche's points on elitism, master slave morality, and also some of the ideas of romanticism, Greek romanticism, into their belief system. It's true without taking in the whole of Nietzsche as a philosopher. Um, would that happen today? They've taken Ayn Rand. You look at Ted Cruz being a big Ayn Rand fan. Yeah, here's what's interesting about Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand hated religion, like hated religion, and specifically criticized Christianity. That's what is so fucking bizarre. Ted Cruz sat and read The Fountainhead as like a filibuster. And I'm thinking, how brain dead does Ted Cruz have to be to think Ayn Rand was on his side? Like,
He's always been a bit
like,
of a goofball, though.
yeah, he's kind of a slimy goof. Yeah, he's kind of a goof. And but so we are seeing evidence of appropriation there. I think today's left and right would both have difficulty adopting Nietzsche into their beliefs. It's far too
Hmm.
elitist and social Darwinist for the left, and it's far too anti-Christian
Yep.
and Dionysian for the right.
Yep.
Like today,
Agreed.
Nietzsche doesn't accurately fit into either side. Now, issue by issue, yeah, Nietzsche can't be smoothly aligned with either side in the American right or left right now
Mm, agreed.
today. But do I feel like he could be adopted? I mean, it it is already happening, and whoever does it, I hope they do him justice. But I think Nietzsche is someone. Nietzsche is certainly not someone you can just take
No,
without a
not at
bunch
all.
of nuances and a bunch of, Nietzsche isn't this just monolithic thing that, oh, this is Nietzschean. He's far too complex of a figure, and he
Yes.
says things that are almost contradictory that you
Yep.
can't really. Everyone is appropriating him. Everybody is. I am. I'm appropriating him. My book is appropriating him. Anything you say, if anyone says they fully understand Nietzsche confidently, they're full of shit because I think
Yeah.
even he refutes himself over time.
Oh, he does. He
So,
does. You can see the change in opinions throughout the books and stuff like that. So the next part here. So how do we as left-hand path practitioners resist getting dragged into ideological possession?
by challenging by challenging why we are holding on to that ideology, by questioning the reasons for that ideology and questioning whether it's derivative. Who is teaching me this ideology? Who is it benefiting? Where did I learn it from? At its core, why does it matter to me? What are my core values and why? Left hand path requires analysis of the self, and it requires self refutation and consideration and contemplation and reflection. So understand why you have that belief and constantly challenge it. Challenge that belief. Challenge where it works and where it doesn't. Universalize it and see if it works. It's like the categorical imperative. Does it work? It's like the Kantian categorical imperative. Does it work as a universal? And if not, why? And I think it's up to Satanists. When I say Satanists, I mean the left hand path. When I say Satanists, I mean all of us. Okay. And, some people might take issue with that, but not everyone in the left hand path are Satanists, but it's just, yeah, it's easier for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's beholden to Satanists to challenge themselves and to question and not inherit the beliefs of another. You talked about control earlier. No one can control
Mm-hmm.
me, but an
Yep.
ideology can control you.
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of taking in new information, you just say that's it. That's my ideology. These are the
Mm-hmm.
things that don't. And when you're given refuting evidence, it doesn't. So reflection, contemplation, and asking yourself the difficult questions.
I agree with that
Be uncomfortable.
wholeheartedly. Yeah. Yeah,
You
definitely.
kicking your leg against the bag, kicking for 5 hours.
Yeah.
We have to embrace discomfort, but
Mm-hmm.
also intellectual discomfort. It's okay to be wrong about something. It's okay to have to rethink something. And if the left hand path doesn't have the balls to question themselves, the courage, not a gendered, I'm not going to use a gendered, the balls, they have the courage
Mm-hmm.
to question themselves,
Yeah,
then who
exactly.
the fuck does?
Well, and I think it
Then who the
falls.
fuck does?
It does. I mean, I don't want to sound like a fucking Scientologist here because, like, with Tom Cruise and his whole line, of we're not going to get into that. That's like, oh, fucking hell. That's a topic for another day. But I do feel that as practitioners within the left-hand path, and the reason I do specify left-hand path is because, like you had said, not all Satanists are left-hand path, or not all left people on the left-hand path are Satanists. It's I feel
Exactly.
like it's more all encompassing. So, but as a philosophy, so I do believe that it with practitioners, us in the left hand path today, it's no longer about shock value. We're not 15 anymore, right? I know that there's probably kids getting into it because they want to piss their parents off, and that's cool. Go for it. I did it. You know, but for those of us that are able to see what is actually happening, this isn't a conversation about being shocking or, being immoral or anything like that. And unfortunately, we are out of time, but like, I did want to get into like a conversation about the difference between morality and ethics, because there is a grave difference there
Sure.
that needs to be discussed. But, it, we don't exhibit lack of morality. It's being left-hand path isn't not having morals or even really inherently having a different moral compass. Dyer and I believe in a nuclear family. We believe in being, monogamous. We believe,
Monogamous.
we I almost said monotheistic. It's like nope, that's not it.
I've seen a couple of videos where you talked about polyamory.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with people
you're frustrated that polyamory is imposed upon within expected of us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's if you practice that, then that's fine. I don't give a shit, but I don't want to know about it. That's like, I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit if you're banging a goat, man.
People, I don't know where it comes from. I've never known, but I have a first glance, and even after multiple glances, people think that I might be gay or that I'm bisexual. Like, I don't know if it's because of my jewelry or because I'm very expressive when I talk, but that's okay. Like, I don't mind. Someone will come out and say, and guys will like hit on me or message me or something, and it's like, oh, it's endearing, thank you. It's but I don't
right.
take that. I don't take it unless someone tried to like drag me into an alleyway and like force it upon me or something. Then it would be a problem.
Right.
In our culture, it's just we're very open people, and so I know that from time to time people might think we're open to certain things. It's fine.
Yeah,
I don't take it personally.
I don't take it personally. It's just at that point that I made that video, it had happened so many times.
You seemed so frustrated.
I was just like, I'm done, man.
You seemed so frustrated.
like the first couple of times, I'm like, no, it's cool, you're into that, but no, we're not, But I mean, thanks for the offer, whatever, and that was fine. But then it had happened so many times in direct concession of the previous that I was just like, bro, fucking stop.
Yeah.
So that's why that video exists. But I do think that it is our responsibility as people on the left-hand path to understand that the left-hand path is in shock value. And at this particular junction in today's society, as much as this sounds nihilistic as fuck, it is about surviving a collapsing world with our sovereignty and our integrity intact. Is what it's about.
What gets me is, and why I try not to drive a wedge in this incredibly sensitive time, is I want us being left-hand path or Satanists first. And then we can be conservatives and progressives, and then we can be socialists and communists, and then we become
I like that, yeah.
Everything else. Fascists. Whatever.
No.
Although it gets, the further you go, the more difficult it's going to become to stay. But I would like us to care about that first, and then we can find a way to kind of navigate everything else from there. Right? If we look at the values that mean the most to us within the left-hand path, then we can kind of branch out from there and help guide the rest of the conversation. I just want to think that we can start there together at least. We can start here, and then we can say, okay, fuck all the figurehead on this side or that side or these political figureheads. Let's talk about the core values in our faith. You don't want to call it faith, in our philosophy, in our religion. And then we can start our discourse from there. And it really starts with live and let live. Like, that's really at the core, a very simple reductionist way to look at the core of the left-hand path. Live and let live is like, it's a super reductionist, super simple, but it really starts there and it kind of branches outward. And then we can start to have other conversations. But I want to think we can still stay together a bit longer than the general populace can. Like, we have a shared faith. I hope that is tighter than your political association. I hope that can bring us, that can at least hold us together a bit tighter than the general population. That we can have a conversation a little bit longer and breaking up over Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we can last a second longer than just breaking up because we disagree on Charlie Kirk. And it makes me really question how strong our ties were
Hmm.
as brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
I do 100%. And I 100% agree with you. And like I said, I feel that your perspective on this is it's very refreshing to hear somebody with this perspective because it's not combative. It is about unity. It is about understanding. It is about being able to come together and focus on the commonality and not the differential. Which is unfortunately something that most people have. They try to make everything. But I've had people tell me because I think certain things that I can't be left hand path, and I'm like, huh? Like, no, that's not how it works. Like, for example, I've had somebody literally tell me, like, going back to that video, somebody told me in an Instagram DM that I'm not real left hand path because I'm not open to letting my fiance, wife, my partner sleep with somebody else, and that she's not real left hand path because she's not into wanting to sleep with somebody else. And that was kind of the comment that kind of really sparked the video. And I'm just like, yeah, no, it doesn't fucking work that way. Like, just because you believe something doesn't inherently mean that everyone else has to believe the same goddamn thing.
Now, left-hand path, I think what the left-hand path would call us to do is to understand that lifestyle and not judge it.
Yeah, I don't judge it, but the coming
Right.
after me and telling
Like
me that I'm
that's all
not.
the left-hand path would inform us to do is just
Yeah,
it's a valid way for someone to be, and we're not going to try to constrain that.
yeah.
It means a Dionysian. It's open to be, but we don't. Also, what's left-hand path is solidarity with oneself. So that's not
Hmm.
right for me. So I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Also true.
100%. All right. So I mean, I had to restart the stream, so I don't exactly know how long we've been live, but I know we've been live for damn near 3 hours now. But
Wow.
yeah, this was definitely a conversation worth having. So again, Shay's
Great.
book, Friedrich Nietzsche and the Left Hand Path, is going for a second print with an additional chapter. Um, Make sure that like hit him up and ask him for the hardcover version because I want one. So, and if there isn't enough
You know,
people asking
these
for it, there won't be there.
no. These the first edition sold out. It was through Atramentus Press. It was a lot more expensive. These are through Miskatonic. These are a lot. These are about half the cost the Atramentus one was. Um, and there's still copies with Miskatonic. I've got a few author copies. So if someone reaches out to me, I'll send them one. I have a this Saturday, this next Saturday. Um, this Saturday, sorry, the 20th. I'm doing a book signing and reading at the Crooked Path in Los Angeles. There'll be books there. I'm also doing a seminar called The Alchemy of the Adversary, which will be a little bit different than I do. Usually I do lectures, sometimes workshops, but this will be a seminar in the sense that I'll give some, I'll lecture on some of the core concepts and then we'll discuss it as a group. And if you bought a copy of a book or buy one at the store, the cost of the seminar is waived. But also, it's going to be an online. You can participate via Zoom. You can reserve your seat there as well for the event. So both are possible if you're not in the Los Angeles area. Also, if I can plug one more thing.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
have my Fire in the Wine course. It's an 18-week course on Satanism, Luciferianism, and the right hand path, the history, philosophy, and the ritual magic. It's 25 hours of instruction. It took me 6 months to do it. That's also being offered through Miskatonic. Hit me up and I can give you a discount code for it. And people seem to like it. And um, yeah, those are the things going on right now. I'm working on my second book, full speed ahead on that. Uh and I'm aiming towards before the end of the year. And that's going to go come out through Theon. The Spanish translation of Friedrich Nietzsche and the Left Hand Path that's being released through Mana Sinistra. It's been in pre-order forever. Sometimes they take a while to get it out, but there's going to be a Spanish translation of it. And that's it. Like after that, I've talked about Friedrich Nietzsche for 2 years now. This is the second edition. These are like the last few interviews, podcasts. This might be the last lecture I do on it. Is this seminar I'm going to do on next Saturday? And then I really want to move on. I've loved
Mm-hmm.
talking about this. The conversation is incredibly important, and I will, when people want to talk Nietzsche in the future, I'm down. But after doing 2 years, I think it's time. I want to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But it's been quite a journey, and this is one of the stronger conversations. And I think we got to talk about politics in a way that was, dare I say, inclusive.
I think it
You
was. I'd
know?
like to think so.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, that's one of the things I try to do with all of my shows is I try to push the bounds of what is considered acceptable conversation in a conversation like this, because I think that there are many things that overlap into the lifestyle that need to be discussed and talked about. And so, yeah, I did plan this one out. Maybe a little too much, but I did plan out this interaction quite a bit to make sure that there were very specific points covered and things so I could understand. I'm looking forward to buying a copy of the book. For a little plug for myself here, the Infernal Compass is up and going and running. The spiritual life coaching, which is rooted in Left Hand Path, Jungian psychology, and the like. It is, to start with, it is a 6-week coaching. You get your first 30 minutes are free. It's a discovery call. You can book that through blackmagicdaira.com. All of my services are being sold over there. So you can book the session there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting people on there. We've got about 3-4 people going through the stuff right now, and the feedback is good. Once they reach the end of the Infernal Compass, the 6th pillar, then I will discuss with them what they're willing to release as far as commentary. And that will become public. But we've got about 3-4 people right now going through the pillars, and it's a 6-pillar system that uses demonic archetypes to go through it. First pillar is free with the discovery call. It's the Luciferian pillar. It's the Lucifer pillar. So you guys can go through that and see what the meat of it's like before making a decision to go through the whole thing. So
you've got one more than Islam.
there you go.
One more.
Right?
You really had
had to push it out there. Yeah.
a pissing contest.
Right. Well, I had to be bigger and better, well, maybe not better, but bigger. Yeah. And the pillars follow the pentagram. So it's the 5 pillars external, and the 6th pillar is the internal pillar, which is the sovereignty pillar, right? So that's where that is. If you are a female and if you are interested in this, it's split up between myself and Daira, because there is a part of the pillars that dives very deeply into sexual trauma. And I'm not going to do that with a woman. She's going to handle that part. So just so everybody knows. So it's not just for men, it is also for women.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is I'm glad you put some footwork into this one. This was a very timely conversation. I think this is a great discourse, and I think on any points we disagreed with, it didn't dominate the conversation. And I think it was a conversation that had to be heard.
I agree.
So
definitely.
Thank
so
you
with
for
that,
bringing me on, Satan and Coffee.
Thank you for coming on, being the second official guest. I mean, the first one would be Daira, but I don't know if that counts. She's my partner, but so. Yeah. So yeah, with that all being said, Shay, thank you for coming on here. And as always, everyone, hail thy fucking self. We'll see you in the next one. Peace the fuck out.
Papa Satanas.